Hey guys, this is Christian, and today we got the Honda Civic 2022 LX edition. And jumping into some of the specs, so MSRP is $21,700. It's got a 2-liter 4-cylinder CVT. It's got 158 horsepower, 138 torque. It's right under 2,900 pounds, so it's actually pretty light. MPG is about like 3140, so pretty fuel efficient, about like 35 MPG as well. And I think that covers all of that. And there is also, in case you need a little more power, you could upgrade to the EX model or the Touring model, and you get like 180 horsepower and 177 torque, and it's turbocharged as well. So yeah, jumping into the outside of the car, the exterior. So the outside right here, we got like the pearl white. It's actually really nice, like pretty glossy looking. There's some pearls that I'm not too much of a fan of, but this pearl is actually pretty nice. And it's also a $395 option. And then jumping into the wheels here below. So these are actually 16-inch hubcaps, as you can see. They're not too bad. They're actually pretty decent, I guess you could say. And then I guess like the back kind of actual wheel is actually kind of glossy, so kind of fits in nicely. So jumping onto the front, so the headlights here, this is what Honda actually calls a dual low beam headlights, and they're actually LED as well. So why they call them dual, there's actually a left side and a right side here, and they both of course point low as well, as you'd expect. You got the expected grille that you have here, and if you want a little bit like more of like a sporty or aggressive kind of like body, or what Honda calls like a spoiler all around the car, they have like a HPD option, and it gives you like, it's about like $13.95. And I'll give you like just more aggressive styling on the front, the side skirts, and also like a spoiler on the back as well. Moving on to the rear of the car, so here we got the tail lights back here, quite nice. They're actually LEDs as well. And then of course your standard, your trunk back here. And there is later this year we will be getting the hatchback version of this, but for now we got the trunk. And just opening that up, so here I got the key. And the only thing that I kind of dislike about cars like this is where you actually got to open the trunk by either pressing it on the key here, or you gotta also open it from the driver's side door. So here we got the trunk. It's about 14.8 cubic feet of space, quite roomy, a little bit bigger than like, let's say its competitor like the Corolla, so it's quite nice to have. And then right below this, if you bring up this, you also have your spare down there, so quite easy to get to and everything. And yeah, that kind of just finishes this. So let me just do the trunk challenge for you guys real quick. And now I'm in the trunk, so I fit, I guess. Quite roomy-ish, I guess. Not as big as maybe the Bronco that we saw previously or some of the other cars that we had, but I guess this is fine. Now back outside the car, so I'm just gonna close this real quick. So just bring this down. You got your backup camera as usual. I think this was made standard in the US as of like 2016. Quite useful, I'd say, for people who are backing up, especially in parking lots, and they end up just like bumping into people all the time. I'm sure you guys have some dents on your cars because of other people, unfortunately. But yeah, so for opening up the gas cap, as long as the car's unlocked, you simply just push it in and they'll open it up. And as we saw like on the Bronco, kind of like an interesting like thing to open up the gas and all that. And just closing this back up, just simply just push it back in, and just like that, it's closed. And moving on to the driver's side door, so just open this up real quick, and you can see your expected usual window controls. You got a bit of cloth here, nice little handle that you have, and then a little bit of like cubby space. And I kind of want to point out here, we might not be able to see it inside. It's like this thing will usually get like bent in or like kind of like curves along with the car, though here it's kind of looks like sort of like it's like floating design, which I kind of quite like. And yeah, that finishes up the exterior of the car. So let me just jump in real quick. Jumping onto the interior of the car, so here right away we got the steering wheel, quite nice, I'd say. It's on the smaller side, and then you got like this nice like glossy like feel here. Probably will get scuffed up and scratched up over time, unfortunately. That's the unfortunate of having like a glossy interior, but it does look quite nice right now. We got your standard dash here, quite nice, quite intuitive, and then you also have your touchscreen on the right side here. This is a 7-inch touchscreen. You got your standard buttons, you got of course your phone, radio, media, connect, and then it also comes with like standard Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so pretty easy to use. And then like right below this, we also got your, of course, your like emergency button if you want to turn that on. And then you also have your vents. These are a little bit interesting. They're not like your usual ones that you kind of just like move over, or I guess you do move these, but you like move this little like joystick looking thing on each one, and that kind of just like points the vents where you want them to be. And then moving along from there, you got like this like nice like linear looking kind of like AC vent, as you see, and of course has like that nice like hexagon kind of grill looking thing. And I will say, so it's not completely all just like a vent, so it's actually only a vent here. Like if you look at it closely, you might not pick it up on the camera, but from like here to here, it's actually not a vent here, and it's just more for looks. But I do like that very like linear look. Kind of gives gives the car a very open, kind of wider look, I'd say. And right below that, of course, we also got the AC controls here. So these are really nice too. These are, sure, they're plastic. I think they're probably going for like a Rolls Royce kind of like very like metallic looking feel, though again they are plastic. And AC controls are really intuitive for the reason that's like on your left side you have, of course, like your AC, whatever your temperature. You got your fan speed, and then on the right side is just your mode on how you want it to blow the air at you. And then right below here, so you have a little USB port for if you want to charge your phone, and then a 12-volt charger or whatever you want to plug into here. And then right below this, there isn't actually any phone charges or wireless phone charging as you'd expect, though you can get it in one of the upgraded models. You got your prindle here, quite nice, I'd say, just pulling this back and forward, easy to use. And then you also have like this odd, interesting trim here. And this is actually not carbon fiber. It's more, it looks kind of like carbon fiber because it has like a nice like weave to it, but it's just kind of just the plastic. Though this is kind of smart for the reason that this won't get like scratched up over time, so this will probably hold up a little nicer than this glossier looking that we have here on the wheel. We got 2 cup holders, which gets us of course to the cup holder challenge. So I got my cups here, large cups from Starbucks, so this one fits here quite nicely, and there's actually a little bit of wiggle room, so something wider would actually fit as well too. Bring this in here as well and fits nicely too. And then I also got my custom one too, so bringing this here, fits nicely, a little bit of wiggle room, but ideally you want to actually even put even bigger ones inside here too. You got a couple buttons here I forgot to mention, so you could turn on your eco mode, you could turn on and off the start and stop engine button because it is a little annoying sometimes. You got your parking brake here, and then you also have your brake hold, and that finishes up the buttons here. So yeah, moving on to the armrest here, kind of cloth, really nice just for like resting your arm while maybe you're driving with one arm. So you just open this up real quick, and then you have like this little thing, you could actually swap it between these two. You could maybe like something small that maybe you need access to all the time, and then if not, you can also just have this off and you actually have quite a bit of space down here. There isn't any ports down there, but quite spacious, I'd say. So jumping into the rear of the car, so you actually see my knee room. So I'm sitting where I would normally see, and this is in my driver's side position, and yeah, there's actually a lot of knee room here, so quite nice. And this is a Civic, of course. You remember my previous review on the Corolla, if you want to see that above, there's less knee room, and then even the Bronco had like less knee room. So this is actually quite nice, I'd say, if you have maybe like taller people in the back. And besides that, actually there isn't anything actually here. There isn't any AC vents, unfortunately, so it might be a little hotter sitting in the back. And then closing this up, actually, yeah, this is how it would normally look with the door closed, and you actually see the glass here. It doesn't actually go all the way down, so bringing this up, and actually this is as low as it goes. Getting onto the drive for you guys, so yeah, visibility is quite nice. Looking out of the front, again, they kind of upgraded like this front glass to make it easier to look out of the car. The visibility out of your side is quite easy. Your blind spots are quite easy to access. The B pillar isn't too big. Your A pillar is actually really small. Sometimes that's an issue in some cars. Yeah, the comfort in this car is actually really nice. The seats, again, it's like those nice, just cloth looking seats, but they're quite comfortable, really easy. I could actually see myself like driving in this for like long trips, and you'd be quite fine. The space is actually really, it feels like really spacious in here. I think just like how everything's laid out, it's kind of quite low, so you can actually see easily out, but it just feels like you have a lot of space all around you. As for the drive of the car, driving is quite nice. Steering wheel, actually input's actually pretty good. There is 2 driving modes. Again, there's only the eco mode and the non-eco mode, so you could either just click this on and it shows the little green leaf as you see over here. I think as you see here, econ on or off, so you can have it off or on, and that's it. That's really all there is to it. As for my review on the Honda Civic LX 2022 edition, so again, the big difference between the previous model and this model is, again, all the exterior styling. It's got more of like a bulkier look, more of a presence, I'd say. The lights are quite nice, how they point kind of down. The back's quite nice, I'd say. I do like those like rear lights as well too. Interior is really roomish, I'd say. I haven't actually been in the previous one, unfortunately. I can't compare it, but this one's actually really roomy. And then the other thing, you got your 7-inch touchscreen. Your seats, they are cloth, though you can get leather if you want that on the higher end option. Again, this is just the LX, so there's also the EX, the Touring, and I think there's also the Sport as well. And if you do need maybe a little bit more oomph in the engine, you can get the 180 horsepower one with 177 torque. Though when I was driving this like 158 horsepower, 138 torque in LA, especially on the 405 in the traffic, it was quite fine, I'd say. So I think you'll like this option a lot, especially for the price, again, for $21,700. All right, and that ends my conclusion again on the Honda Civic LX 2022 edition. Again, it's the updated model of the 11th gen Honda Civic. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Again, if you guys can like and subscribe, maybe shoot me down some comments down below. Any feedback, I always appreciate that, either good or bad. I'm always just trying to make videos for you guys, as well as just, I don't know, just kind of just like do my review on all the cars that I'm getting. And just to mention, I'm also trying to do like weekly videos. Ideally, I'm trying to post on Fridays. And just to give you guys a heads up, I do have a Corvette coming soon. A little bit of issues there, but I'm trying to get one of those. And then I also have a Tesla Model S Plaid. That's actually gonna be really fun. I think that'll be a really cool review. But again, thank you guys for watching and subscribing, liking and everything. Till next time. Forgot to close the window.